In my opinion, the KJV to article has hit upon the real reason why the King James translators placed the phrase "the brother of" into 2 Samuel 21:19 in the following statement, quote, As the rendering of the particle as brother of is an interpretation, albeit the correct one, the KJV translators italicize those words. Typically, the KJV has formal equivalents with the English text directly corresponding to underlying Hebrew and Greek. In this instance, there is a bit of interpretation as to what the underlying Hebrew meant, so the King James translators decided to put their correct interpretation in italics for intellectual honesty. That seems to me to be the real reason about why they did this, okay? Which would, of course, stand against a little bit what Scrivener said in his class 1. Because remember, Scrivener said his explanation was just that they're trying to harmonize. And then when we look at it a little bit more deeply, we see that, well, there might be a particle here that is translatable that would have been understood to the Hebrew reader, but needs a little clarification in English, thus the insertion of the phrase "the brother of." And by the way, were the French and Italian and other translators and the Dutch translators, were they aware of the same phenomenon, and did they act accordingly when doing their translations? Okay, so there is no doubt in my mind that the King James translators looked at the marginalia, in the Geneva and Bishop's Bibles, as well as the text of the Italian and French Bibles that predated the King James Bible for insight into how to render 2 Samuel 21:19. Recall from lesson 191 that the following was stated in the epistle dedicatory at the beginning of the 1611, quote, For when your highness had once out of deep judgment apprehended how convenient it was that out of the original sacred tongues, that would be what? Hebrew and Greek, together with comparing of the laborers, both in our own and other foreign languages, of many worthy men who went before us, there should be one more exact translation of the Holy Scriptures into the English tongue. Your Majesty did never desist to urge and to excite those to whom it was commended that the work might be hastened and the business might be expedited in so decent a manner as a matter of such importance might justly require. Notice what I have bolded there. And other foreign what? Languages. Okay? So it's totally conceivable, and I think probable, that not only are the translators looking at the Hebrew, do they look at the Geneva and the bishops, do they see the marginal note, and then do they look at these French and Italian Bibles that predate the 1611, and do they see how those guys handled it, and do they therefore act similarly by their own choice and accord in the 1611? Okay? So, why are these historical and textual facts never discussed by many King James Version only authors? We applaud the KJV today author or authors, the exact author or authors is unclear, for being willing to question the prevailing narrative within King James onlyism and arrive at research-based conclusions.